Motherhood has been a popular topic of discussion from the beginning of time, and in the age of social media and online content, the conversation has taken on a new dimension. From celebrity news headlines to TikToks to family blogs, it is easy to find many ideas and opinions about what makes a quote-unquote good mother versus a quote-unquote bad mother. So what makes a mother a good mother? A quick Google search returns the following terms. A good mother is patient, consistent, calm, organized, loving, knowledgeable, hardworking, fun, available, nurturing, a role model, a problem solver, honest, and humble. How about a bad mother? Interestingly enough, it is harder to find specific articles talking about the traits of bad mothers, and many of the articles that choose to talk about bad mothers talk about bad parenting rather than mothering, and they define bad parenting under terms of abuse and neglect. The lack of direct characteristics of a bad mother implies a couple of things. Number one, societal expectations for the ways mothers should act place more emphasis on the aspirational standards of motherhood than the negative ones. Number two, good motherhood does not involve many of the complexities and challenges that mothers may face. And number three, mothers who do not fit into the ideal mold of motherhood should feel ashamed or even inadequate. Because of the lack of a complete definition of a bad mother, as I go through this video, I will create my own list of words. While it is difficult to find direct characteristics of a bad mom, pop culture and reactions to pop culture offer plenty of examples. In March of 2022, Pew Research Center released an article titled Rising Share of Americans See Women Raising Children on Their Own as Bad for Society. Just like the title says, in 2021, 47% of U.S. adults said that single women raising children on their own was generally bad for society. That is a 7% raise from 2018. One prominent example of society's reaction to single mothers is Nadia Sulman, who became known as Octomom by the media. In 2009, Sulman gave birth to octuplets through IVF treatment. This event caught the attention of the news as the birth and survival of the octuplets was a medical miracle. Sulman quickly came under fire for choosing to have all 8 children, as she was single, unemployed, and already had 6 children at home. News articles quickly rolled out, accusing her of having the children as a publicity stunt, followed by angry responses going from harsh headlines to death threats, concerned that she and her children would be taking tax dollars. Sulman spoke on the situation in an interview on Today.
And a lot of couples, usually it's couples, do undergo this procedure, and it's not as controversial because they're couples, so it's more acceptable to society. For me, I feel as though I've been under the microscope because I've chosen this unconventional kind of life. I didn't intend on it being unconventional. It turned out to be. All I wanted was children. I wanted to be a mom.
Sulman's story is a stark example of the societal backlash against single mothers. However, social media can also positively impact single mothers. Social media platforms such as TikTok can allow single mothers to connect with other single mothers. In fact, the hashtag #SingleMom on TikTok has over 19 billion views as of March 2023. Both single mothers who create content on TikTok as well as their viewers have shared that the single mom TikTok community helps them feel less alone. Of course, these communities also come with their pitfalls. Tiania Hainline, a popular TikTok creator who makes single mom content, shared that she often faces backlash for her parenting style. In an interview with Insider, she said, "They want me to be raw and show that side of motherhood, but when I do show that side, I get hated on. It's a never-win situation." Working mothers also face the label of bad mother. A 2022 research article titled What Makes a Good Mother identified a term called integrating employment into motherhood as one of the 5 traits expected of mothers. In other words, it's okay for mothers to work as long as it does not interfere with her family responsibilities. One example of this can be seen in a Megan Fox interview with E.T., where she talks about the difficulties of working in Hollywood as a mother.
People will be like, "You just don't really work that much." Like, journalists will be like, it's nice to see you in a movie because you don't really work that much. And it's like, I've gestated and given birth to 3 children. I starred in a movie that opened worldwide #1 twice. And expect me to be putting out the same kind of things at the same kind of pace as when I was a kid and had no children.
While Fox was often faced with questions about why she wasn't working as much after having a child, singer-songwriter Pink shared a different experience. In a post showing her child playing in the sprinklers in a yard, Pink wrote, "Here's a picture of my child running through the water. It wasn't even filtered. What a waste of water. And no helmet. I hope she had sunscreen. If she slips and falls, she may be traumatized for life. And her mother wasn't even there. I was, gasp, working in another country." This post came as a result of criticism of her parenting and her choosing to work far away from home. These examples show the pressure placed on working moms. On one hand, you might not work enough, yet on another, you might work too much and need to spend more time at home. Another group of mothers who often seem to be deemed as bad mothers is what I'm going to call sexy mothers. There seems to be this idea that once a woman becomes a mother, she can no longer be quote-unquote too sexy. Take Kim Kardashian, for example. While she has faced backlash for social media posts and outfits that were deemed too sexy or too revealing many different times, one prominent example can be found in a 2018 Instagram post. A couple of days after the birth of her third child by surrogate, Kim Kardashian posted an image of herself lying nude in bed using sheets and image blurring to censor the photo. She immediately faced negative comments focusing on her children and her role as a mother. Commenters called on her to spend time with her kids instead of posting what they deemed to be inappropriate photos online. Yet other commenters defended her, questioning why a woman has to stop being sexy when she has kids. The negative perception between sexiness and motherhood does not stop at looks. In 2021, Cardi B faced backlash for not allowing her 2-year-old daughter to listen to her song WAP because other children could listen to it. One Twitter user tweeted, "So your daughter can't listen to it, but everyone else's daughter can?" On one hand, there is a negative perception of mothers who are too sexy, yet a mother might also be frowned upon if she is unwilling to expose her child to said content. This builds an expectation that a good mother should do everything with her children in mind first, or, in a more severe way, a good mother should limit herself as a person to cater to her children. So far, the pop culture examples have established that a good mother cannot be too sexy. However, a good mother should still look good. The What Makes a Good Mother study identified public appearance and understanding of social norms to be one of the 5 traits expected of mothers. This is further reflected in social media in the prevalence of information about how to look good and also be a mom. To add to the pop culture defined characteristics of a bad mother, bad mothers are too sexy or have not put enough effort into their appearance. The last group of mothers I'm going to discuss in this section are non-white mothers. A study from early 2000s titled "How Does Race Influence Judgments About Parenting?" found that different parenting styles between black and white parents were likely contributing to higher rates of maltreatment reports among black children. While this study did not come to any specific conclusions, the data also suggested that socioeconomic status affected the way different groups of parents viewed other groups' parenting styles. In a discussion of what we consider to be good and bad mothers, it is important to consider that many of the traits we think of as acceptable are based on privilege. As said by Nancy Reddy in a 2018 essay titled "We Need to Talk About Whiteness in Motherhood Memoirs," white women get to challenge the narrative of child rearing, but not everyone has that power. Many popular books about motherhood are written by white authors, and as a result, common narratives about motherhood become rooted in privilege. One example of this is the ability to call yourself a bad mother. Reddy goes on to say that while a white author like Ayelet Waldman can declare herself as such, if a woman of color declares herself a bad mother, there's a very real risk that the state might just believe her. Additionally, just like many popular books about motherhood are written by white authors, many TV shows and movies about motherhood feature white women. These cultural influences mean that sometimes it is easy to mistake the characteristics of a good mother for a white mother. Some of the different ways that mothers who do not follow societal norms parent, we are able to create a list of traits of a bad mother according to pop culture. This list is conflicting and unrealistic, and it's difficult to imagine holding any mother to these standards. Yet we see mothers struggling with the feeling of being a quote-unquote good mother all the time. This TED Talk by Cheryl Ziegler puts it well.
Today, we have the rabbit hole of social media that shows what all the other mommies are doing better than us. If we're a working mom, we feel guilty. And if we're a stay-at-home mom, we feel judged. We second guess and stress over all the parenting decisions that we make, and all too often, we feel like failures and frauds.
Pop culture and social media create unrealistic expectations for what it means to be a good mother. By examining the representations of good and bad motherhood in various forms of media, we can gain a greater understanding of how society views mothers and motherhood. Thank you.